Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2M Net podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling. You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. This is episode 259, and I am your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And, well, it is another week in video games. This week finally feels like we're back in the swing of things where there's multiple games you could be playing at once, and I'm doing just that. With plenty to play right now. Just want to mention, of course, we are the official video games podcast at W2Net.com, and also with Last Word on Gaming, which you can go check out my article on the whole Xbox changing their Xbox Live Gold price and then retracting that, and what I think they should do. Maybe we'll get into that in a little bit with the WWE Network deciding to do something similar to what I was supposing maybe Microsoft do, but yeah, I mean, if it's not Microsoft, it's GameStop with this thing with their stock, which has made them be in the news, I think, way more than anybody expected, for things that are beyond their control. I'm sure that this is a fun topic for all the workers if you go into GameStop, right now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, GameStop is still shutting down their stores.
Yeah, this is not, saving GameStop or anything. But it is kind of helping their narrative of they've been, getting better money-wise since, the end of last year to this year. But it's really all due to, people short selling and then, short squeezing the hedge funds and everybody that was, just killing that stock. It was $3 a share at one point.
Yeah.
Just awful. And then now they've skyrocketed to a certain, one hedge fund had to get so much external, they had to get so much external help that they finally had to just get out of it because they couldn't buy back the shares enough. And some people are making some bank out of that thing though. So I wish I would have, not been so scared and gone with it sometimes. I'm man, I could have, I don't know, bought something worth it with that. But I was just no. What if I do it at the wrong time and I lose everything? So I had some friends that were let's do it. Let's put some money in this. And I'm not the best time to lose anything either. So you think about it at all?
No.
No,
because I know it's a big bubble that'll burst, any second now. So
yeah, I'm waiting on that too. I mean, I'm sure the people on the Wall Street Bets subreddit know what they're doing more than we do. But it's still pretty fun that it was GameStop, and then people tried to do it to the AMC theaters, and they were doing it to the wrong AMC. They wound up doing it to the AMC TV network.
Yep.
So that was even.
Not exactly a bunch of bright investors, are they?
Yeah, I mean, do a little bit of research, but yeah, it is what it is. It just has been really funny seeing everybody go, oh my god, I have to write about GameStop business now all of a sudden, where, video game journalists that's not what they are practicing to write about. So, that's been fun. Anything else going on with you?
Playing a few games. You?
I have been playing a few games. My job looks like it's really going to happen. I am trying to do what I can for Wednesday to prevent it, but they have made a schedule, and we are supposed to spend half our time at home and half our time at work now. I still don't understand why corporate is so crazy about they're demanding that everybody needs to go back to the office, but
especially if, like, productivity is probably, like, how much more productive are going to be in an office? It's not like...
Oh, yeah, it doesn't really change anything. It's not like the amount of calls change. You still have to take every call. I mean, unless you're having an absolute emergency, you're not supposed to, you can't just decide, okay, I'm not going to take this one. It's like, I mean, so the only thing that changes is technically, I guess, they can't watch you. So I guess you could be doing other stuff in the background and...
Yeah, but if it doesn't impact the call, what does it matter? Or,
I mean, the thing is, I don't think it has really to do with whether it impacts the calls or not. I think it's more of a, like, they can't really coach us from an online, I mean, for them, I guess, is, aside from the whole, they're paying for this building that nobody's in other than, some of the supervisors or whatever, but I think it's more of a, like, they feel like they can't coach us while we're over there. We haven't really had any kind of, I think there's only been twice since we got out of the office where they've actually gone over our numbers with us, in which they're saying that that's the problem. That's also a problem too, is when you're not in the office, they don't have people that are just part of QA, that's their job, and they sit in their own little office to do that. So, I don't know. It's a whole bunch of whatever, but I'm trying to see what I can do, because it's like, man, I got 2 different families that I'm around, and, my girlfriend and her dad have some major, pre-existing conditions that could cause problems if I were to expose them. I mean, it's only going to be 10 people in the office, but still, it's like, I tried working with a mask on the whole time yesterday, and that was not fun. So, like, it's one thing to be in, like, I get it, like, doctors are doing that all the time, hospitals are doing that all the time, the grocery store, but I think it's different when we're constantly having to talk with that thing on, and like that, it messes up, for at least for me, it messes up me breathing, after a while, so, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that I can prevent it at least, just because I don't want to have to worry about that, because all it takes is one person, and there we go, now everybody's got to get tested and do all that stuff, and it's, gosh. But, enough of that. Let's get into, those games. So, I mentioned last week that, you technically had the first, review of the year for us, and did you finally get to start playing it, that Skul the Hero Slayer?
Yeah. It's alright.
It's alright?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's a kind of Metroidvania and like roguelike, or like more of roguelike, I guess. You play like a little skeleton, and it's basically kind of a story of, Disgaea, like almost. Like the Demon King gets captured by some hero guy, and you have to like go rescue him. I don't think you're not like his son though, I don't think. But.
A little less nepotism.
Yeah, like, the big hook in this game is you find different skulls, skulls of other skeletons, and you can put them on your body, and you get their powers. So there's like, 20 or 30 different powers, like, magician, genie, knight, tree guy or ent, stuff like that. And they all have like different abilities and attacks and, good and bad things.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, so I guess it has both, like roguelike. So what is the roguelike part of it?
Well, I mean, it's very run based.
Okay.
Like Hades or like Dead Cells. The problem with the game really is like the stages themselves. I mean, they're fine for the most part. Bosses are really repetitive, and like at least in Hades they change. You can change them. In this game, you can't. So I face the same damn tree boss over and over, and that's like the first area boss, and this guy sucks. Like,
so it doesn't. So it's basically like you just figure out the pattern, and you just have to beat him the same way every time.
Yeah, and like sometimes you want there are some skulls that are really bad in the game. Like the Shield Bear is like terrible because he's a very ground-based character class. Like he attacks with his shield, but on the ground. And he can attack in the air, kind of, but it's not great. and the tree boss is basically an air boss. Like, he's on, like, you can only jump and attack him. He has a few branches sticking out. You can attack his face, but it's not great. So attacking with, a projectile character class is a lot easier than trying to attack with a shield guy.
But does, okay, that one's an air boss, but the next one is a ground boss, or?
Yeah. But I mean, it's just, if you can't get past the first one, it's going to be real hard to get to the second one.
I'm guessing you don't get to just store the different skulls with you, you have to find them?
Yeah.
And
so there is this mechanic where you can, swap to your default skull, which is, really ineffectual. It's just a very short-range, basic guy. And I think you're supposed to be able to hold two at once, but I haven't unlocked that, or I don't know if that's actually true or not. Because this whole, if you swap between some of the powers and upgrades, if you swap between skulls, you gain, a bonus to attack for 5 seconds, or increase speed or something. But it's why would I ever swap back to my original skull? It sucks. I don't understand this process at all. And yeah, I've gotten to at least the third area. The first boss is the tree. The second boss is these two very quick knight characters, or almost like Valkyries kind of, but they're fine. And the third one is just haven't even seen yet.
Well,
you can also if you find let's say you find a skull that you like and you use it, if you find an additional skull on the ground, you can basically consume it for bones. And you can use bones if it's witch character to for this spider witch character to upgrade your main skull, so you can unlock different powers or different upgrades. That's kind of interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to do that a lot?
Yeah. That's the thing is I've done it a lot, but the first time I had one good skull, and it's you need 10 skulls or 10 bones to upgrade your character, and I'm I've only seen 5, so I've cheated in that part quite a bit. Because you get so little bones in the game that to fully upgrade it one skull. This isn't permanent, by the way. This is just temporary for the run. It's you need 140 bones.
Damn.
And I've seen 10, total. Because it does it in stages. The first stage is 10 or 10 to 30. The second stage is maybe 30 to 50, and the final stage is usually 100. And it's I've never seen that many bones in any run of this game. I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but it's crazy that they're asking you for that much.
God, yeah, that seems super high.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 stages?
Yeah.
Or
it goes common, uncommon, or basic line is common, and then it goes uncommon, epic, and then legendary. And it depends on obviously the character class, but every character has one special ability. So you'll unlock a second special ability, and then it'll become more powerful, or you can do different stuff, which is kind of fun to do. But there are occasional skulls that you find that are already legendary, so they're already maxed out, but they're not exactly plentiful. So,
wow, that's a bit disappointing.
Also, the game is mad Korean. It has voiceover, but it's all in Korean, which I think is funny. It's not a bad game, but this repetitive nature of the bosses just really drains it. Compared to I wouldn't even compare it to Hades, because that's kind of outside the norm. Even compared to other run-based games, like Binding of Isaac or Dead Cells, there are different bosses. And in this one, there's not, at least that I've seen. Maybe if you beat it, it unlocks a hard mode or different bosses or something, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
It does have pretty good music, but yeah.
Hey, that's
and it looks nice
too.
And I've discovered my my basic controller is a wired Xbox 360 gamepad, and that's pretty much done at this point. The wire inside of it is frayed or screwed up, so it kept disconnecting when I was playing. It's not the game's fault. I know that. It's the controller. If I move a millimeter, it disconnects because the wire inside of it is screwed up. So now I have to start using a PS4 gamepad.
But so you your actual DualShock, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some games use it well, and some don't.
Well, at least it does work, though.
Yeah. I just wish, I wish it could tell, a game could tell, oh, you're using a PS4 gamepad, let me change the buttons around, the button notifications to PS4. Because I have to keep reminding myself, Xbox is XBYA, not circle X, triangle, or square
but
X, circle.
it's still the same, like, button positions, so you kind of know.
Yeah, but it's just like that. It really is a bummer for, like, quick time events. If it goes, like, press X and B, it's like, wait, what? Like,
Which, like,
I didn't
well,
play
it's X and circle. Okay.
yeah. I didn't play a ton of it, but I fired up Resident Evil 3 finally for, like, 20 minutes. That's okay.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it'll be more okay. You keep going further.
And I got the stupid car in Forza Horizon 4, the Cyberpunk car.
How's that?
It's real dumb. I kind of appreciate it.
It's like it looks dumb in the world, or it's like...
Yeah, and also like the cockpit view is hilarious because it looks like a Cyberpunk cockpit view. Like you get like the stupid, like dumb steering wheel. Like it looks like a flight, cockpit or something. It's like yeesh.
Well, I mean, I guess why not have some fun stuff in there?
Yeah.
Any more on that Immortals Phoenix Rising, or?
A little. I got that timed quest because apparently like there's a pretty good piece of loot out of it, so that was nice to get. I know the DLC just came out, but it sounded disappointing, at least in like the GameSpot review, so I probably won't get that or play that.
Yeah, the new god and everything.
Yeah. It's a fun game. Like it's a good game to like play and like watch something on my laptop with because I don't have to pay attention to the game too much.
I've heard that a bit as well.
It's much more exploration focused, or just than like Assassin's Creed or like Watch Dogs. Like it's like just get to this new mountain or get to this new peak and get the 20 or so pickups on this thing and go to the next one and keep repeating.
Yeah, and that's why it gets the comparisons to Breath of the Wild. It's a lot of exploration, but it also has, unlike Breath of the Wild, it has a ton of icons on the.
Yeah, I do like that. I actually do like that. It's like it has a lot more direction than Breath of the Wild did, and like the absence of the breakable weapons or durability is really nice too.
Yeah, I like that you get your weapons quick, and then you can kind of figure out which one you like to use more, or just use a combination of all three. And you can upgrade stuff. So,
Yep. Are you playing anything? Oh yeah, you playing anything?
Oh yeah, I am playing a lot of a few games. I know Randy is. I told Randy like as soon as I started playing, I was like, "Well, you're gonna want to play Cybershadow because it oozes Mega Man all over it. In fact, even when you kill things, the same little I don't know what that's called that like drops when you kill an enemy in Mega Man. I don't know if that's the name or not.
It's usually energy pellets or like weapon energy.
Yeah, like the energy pellets.
Yeah.
They look almost exactly the same, except that they're like orange looking instead of blue.
Right.
So I was like, wow, they really wanted to pay some homage. It's very similar. So I mean, but it's hard. It's not. I mean, the enemies are not hard to kill, obviously, but it's just like the way that the level is set up. They definitely want you to go through some deaths. There is checkpoints. Thankfully, I just like the aesthetic. It has some messenger vibes too, the way that it has some of the story play out. I've liked it so far. I'm playing it on Game Pass, but it's well worth the $20. If you like these kind of games. I mean, he looks like he could be a Ninja Gaiden character also, but I love the music too. It's got more messenger type vibes as well. So on that. So I definitely recommend Cybershadow. If you got Game Pass, definitely download it. And it's because it's retro look, like 16-bit, I guess. Or I don't know, what would that be really? I guess it's more kind of 16-bit. That's definitely one you can play on your phone, or if you don't, if you're not by your console, it's on Android Game Pass too. Definitely you can play it on your phone. You're not going to see the difference when you play it on your Series X. It's like that the whole time. The one you would probably see a little bit of difference is the Medium. I haven't gotten too far into this. Randy's a lot farther because he's reviewing the game. Technically, he has a code, which he didn't really necessarily need, but he got it like a day early. because of the code. So, but yeah, he's reviewing. I tried to get him on today to talk about it. He's a lot farther than I am. But he has school now again, so it's gonna probably be a little harder to, and he also works at FedEx now, so he has to get up early.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's very much like, it's not a survival horror game, so let me get that out of the way. It's more like a Telltale or point and click game. You're only allowed to see, it's almost like it has tank controls, but it doesn't, you're only allowed to see a certain area, right? And you're finding clues, and solving some puzzles and trying to, piece together that story. I haven't gotten, you see it once at the early, I'm still at the beginning, like probably within like the first like couple of hours. But already you can see the story is going to be weird, and you see some of that like dual world thing at the early part there, but I'm not at the part where you're constantly in that yet. So I can't tell you how I feel about that yet, but from what I played, I like it. I was not expecting anything like, out of this world blow away, because it's Bloober Team. It's not, this big AAA studio. They're not owned by Microsoft. This is an indie game that they happen to have time exclusivity for. So, I'm not trying to, defend them or anything. It's just, I don't think people needed to expect The Medium was going to be the first game that was going to be blowing everybody away, as far as, especially when they're trying to do like something really crazy, or they're trying to have two different screens basically on at the same time constantly. To hear that it doesn't really render in 4K or not even 1080p doesn't really surprise me necessarily.
Isn't that Way Out game do the same thing?
But A Way Out is like basically just showing you another character. This is showing,
right, yeah, both,
a whole different world at the same time.
Yeah.
And she's got a different look and everything else. So, I don't like, A Way Out is basically almost doing like split screen pretty much.
Right.
So, yeah, I like The Medium. I can't, like I said, I can't.
It has some real varied review scores. I've noticed that.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. That was, and that's the thing, that people seem to be really mixed on it. Like, people seem to love it, or they don't seem to love it at all. There's people that do get scared by it, some that don't. So, we'll see how that goes. With The Medium, the more I play it. Maybe we'll get to have Randy on next week, maybe. So the one game that I am reviewing, which the embargo ended yesterday, technically doesn't release for another couple of days on February 2nd, is East 9 Monstrum Nox. And I'm enjoying it, except for where it crashes my PS5. So
that's always fun.
It's happened to me 3 times. The last time, that's when I started playing The Medium, because I got tired of it.
How bad is it crashing? Is it just like crashing to basically the desktop, or is it like hard locking the system?
It doesn't hard lock the system, it just crashes to the black screen.
Yeah, crashing the desktop then, okay.
Yeah, so it's still annoying. Thankfully they have a pretty good autosave system, but still it's still pretty annoying.
It breaks up the flow of the game, then you just kind of get pissed.
I wonder if it happens on PS4 at all or not.
Is it like a technically demanding game, or is it?
No, not really, not at all. I mean, if you look at the character, I don't know if you've seen East 8 at all. The characters don't look that much better than they did in East 8, because it's still a PS4 game. It's playable on your PS5. So, and it is coming to Switch at some point in the summer along with PC. It's just, it came to PS4 first. And, yeah, it's, if you like the East 8, there's no reason you shouldn't like East 9. They add a different mechanic where, you are the Crimson King, and you have different abilities, that you get to use, and, there's other monstrums that are in the game, and you can, once they join your party, you can, switch between them, which is cool. so you can use their abilities too, and they have abilities around the world, like you can scale up walls and stuff to find items and everything else. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I only got the game, I want to say, like 2 or 3 days ago. So, yeah, there was no way I was going to make the embargo, but we'll see about, hopefully, pretty quick here. It's just, it's an RPG, so it's...
Oh, so a short game.
Yeah, it's not going to be... I'm not expecting a super long game, but it's not going to be, like the Medium, which the Medium apparently is like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll probably be talking about it next week too. But it's a fun action RPG. It's fast. You're killing enemies. It doesn't linger around. It's not a graphical showpiece by any means at all. It looks exactly like it. If you want to talk about a PS4 game that does not really benefit at all from a upgrade to the PS5, that's one of those games.
Right,
but
yeah.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's still good. I don't know how I feel about the story yet. It kind of feels like it's like really slow, but I'm also still kind of at the beginning. So I think I played like 5-6 hours, so we'll see. But yeah, glad to be back in playing games. So, and pretty soon we'll be able to play more games, because the Xbox Games for Gold, which we did mention last week, and the PS Plus games are out. PS Plus has 3 really good ones. Destruction All-Stars, which, Sony had talked about before, was supposed to come out at launch for $70, is now a free PS Plus game because of the delay, and it's multiplayer on PS Plus. A lot of times when that happens, it becomes a big game. So we saw with Fall Guys, we saw Rocket League. Could Destruction All-Stars be the next one?
Yeah, I'll definitely pick up Control, or have a nice play. I already have Concrete Genie. I bought that like a few months ago.
Yeah, I have Control Ultimate Edition on Xbox, so I guess now I can have it on PS5 as well. And never can get enough Control, so I'm down with that. And Concrete Genie is good. I almost bought that on the sale, so cool that can have that too. I definitely recommend everything I've seen at Concrete Genie. It's pretty good.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, Games for Gold. I mentioned, I think that Gears 5 was added, so now there's 5 games coming out. There's going to be 3 on February 1st. Now there's 2 that go through the whole month instead of, cutting off.
Yeah.
So it's Gears 5 and Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil, are free the whole month. Then you get also Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, the original Xbox game, is February 1st to the 15th. I've never played that, so I cannot tell you if it's good or not.
I haven't played it either, but I can make an assumption that it's probably bad.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Not like we've really heard about, oh my god, you need to go play these great Indiana Jones games aside from the Lego ones, which really those are kind of hard for them to mess up on. Definitely Resident Evil 1, should go check out that. Gears 5, should check it out. The Endora Trials of Fear edition, which is like the complete edition. Definitely think it's worth checking out. It's a pretty good platformer. I enjoyed what I played of it. And Lost Planet 2, which I know I've played that. I just can't remember anything about it.
That's like the one that's like Monster Hunter with guns.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you like Monster Hunter.
And it's a bad shooter, and then it ruins what Lost Planet was. Because like the first Lost Planet was like the whole like snowy planet.
Yeah, that one.
Now it's like a big jungle planet with like a bunch of like big monsters, and I was like, what? Like,
well, 3 tried to go back to the snowy thing, right?
Yeah, but it was a bad developer, so it failed even worse than Lost Planet 2 did.
Well, that's why you don't really hear about Lost Planet anymore. So.
Yep, like a lot of those old Capcom franchises.
But yeah, that's your Games for Gold and PS Plus. Definitely lots to check out there. There was, aside from the GameStop stuff, which, we talked about at the beginning, that was crazy. I'm sure anybody listening to this probably knows what was happening there. Something that came up that was just really weird was Konami had this, conference call, I guess, for their, stocks, and they were restructuring similar to the way that Sega did last year, and people looked at it as, oh, we're like doing away with we're dissolving the production divisions to respond to rapid market and growth, and people took it as, oh, we're dissolving our game division. Nope, that's not what's happening. But it was funny to.
Well, yeah. Konami says they aren't, but let's face it, they are.
Well, I mean, what do they have at this point? Pro Evolution, and that's it. Like,
yeah, like I mean, they made that crappy Bomberman game a few years ago for like the Switch.
Well, outside of them releasing old games.
Well, that was a new one, but I mean, yeah, like that's the thing is all they do is like remake their old, or just port over their old crap, like Castlevania Chronicles or like the Contra thing.
I did buy the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Link.
Yeah, they make Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, but they haven't made one of those in a while. I don't think either, have they?
No. I don't remember when this game came out, but the one that I bought on Switch. But
yeah, I mean,
it's pretty fun.
Wasn't that a port or just?
Yeah, it was a port. It was definitely a port.
So yeah, all they make nowadays is PES. I mean, they make arcade games kind of, but like not what they used to. And let's face it, arcade games aren't going to pay the bills. Like they need to make a console game.
I mean, that's why they had the pachinko machines and all that to pay the bills there.
Yeah, and even if PES is better than FIFA, like who cares? Like soccer fans don't care. Like they keep buying FIFA. So,
well, yeah, I mean that has a lot to do with the licenses, but
yeah.
I think it's just Konami needs to think about what they want to do. Do they want to?
Well, they don't want to do anything.
Silent Hill, or do they ever want to try to license out Silent Hill to Kojima to see if he can do, something with that he's wanted to do, or?
No, because I mean, I think there's such bad blood between those two still that, or at least probably on his part, you don't have to imagine that. No.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Konami. I mean, they are responsible for some of my favorite franchises, like Castlevania, Metal Gear Solid, Suikoden, and they just don't do anything with them nowadays. So it's like, why bother having them?
Yeah, if there's ever one company that, if there's still a lot of talk about Microsoft's, making other acquisitions. If there's a Japanese company,
I don't think they would ever with Microsoft. They'd probably. I mean, it would be less money, but they'd probably go with Sony.
Oh, I know that. I'm saying, but if there is one,
yeah,
that they're not doing anything with their franchises,
right?
They have some pretty big ones. You can say what you want, but it's like, okay, it turns out Bethesda was not doing well after they had a lot of games that didn't sell as well as they wanted. With a lot of their major franchises, to be fair, in long development with games.
Right.
So it's kind of like their B tier, outside of Doom, their B tier franchises are what was left, and they didn't sell very well. So.
Yeah, Rage 2 didn't exactly set the world on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much, Doom Eternal sold, and then eventually it's been in, after the sale, it's been in Game Pass, so. But that's the thing that is one, I mean, because, people talk about Sega a lot, and Sega is at least out there, making games, and they're doing well, and...
Well, Sega also, even if the core of Sega isn't, making games or doing that well, they have other companies that they own, or other divisions, like Atlas, or...
Yeah.
What's the other one, big one, Creative Assembly. They still make shit. That, they have enough diversity that...
Right.
Even if they make a bad Sonic game, it's like, okay, well, you can crank another Persona.
Even the creative director of Yakuza's getting back into...
Yeah, or Yakuza's a big one. That's not technically Sony, or not, that's not technically Sega. They just own the own the studio, the Geo or something like that.
Gagatoku.
Yeah. That's not Sega, core Sega, but Sega still owns it, so who cares?
Right, yeah.
Konami doesn't do that, or they don't seem to want to care to do that. They just crank out a PES game every year and go, that's about it.
I'm just really surprised that they won't license out, some of the bigger I mean, maybe not Metal Gear Solid, but, Silent Hill and...
I mean, one of the reasons Kojima left is because, the guy who owns Konami is, crazy. A crazy old guy.
Yeah, it's just somebody needs to tell that guy, like, dude, you're sitting on these franchises that people actually really like and would buy more of if you give it to the right developer and let them make a good game. Not Lords of Shadow or anything, but something good. So
instead, they have another crappy Contra game to put on it.
Yeah, like let's put another old game on this, or sure, you're making some money off that, but there's so much more you could be doing. But oh well, I guess with Konami, they're probably not going to change for a while. I don't think.
Yeah, until someone swallows them up or something drastic happens.
Yeah. Speaking of swallowing up, the company that's known for swallowing up other companies, THQ Nordic, Embracer Group, whatever you want to call them today.
Yeah.
They finally announced that Biomutant is coming out. So far, right now, it's May 25th of this year. Of course, they're being developed by Experiment 101. Yeah.
I didn't post it in the news story, but there are three editions of that game. Basic, like premium, and then collectors. The premium one is like $100, and the collector's one is like $350 or $400.
Good lord!
And it's like, who is going to buy that? Like, people don't. Like,
seriously.
They did that with like Darksiders and that Destroy All Humans reboot, and it's like,
but like those are known games, sort of.
I mean, sure, but even those, like, there's not enough of a fan base for either one of those to necessitate a $400 collector's edition. Like, why? I don't understand how they can keep making these things when they don't sell, and no one cares. Like, you'd be hard pressed. I mean, there's a $300 Resident Evil 8, collector's edition. That'll sell, but that has good buzz behind it because it's a very known franchise.
Yeah.
Biomutant's been around for 4 years and you'll barely know it.
I mean, there's still going to be a ton of people that go, oh, Biomutant, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
So.
But they're not going to go, oh, let's spend the $400 on this collector's edition that comes with a stupid statue.
I mean, this is a, open world post-apocalyptic Kung Fu Fable RPG with martial arts style combat.
Oh, those come out every month.
I mean, it's cool. It has a lot of stuff, and
I'm not really crapping in the game. It's just like, I don't need the $400 special edition. No one does, and no one will buy it.
And if they just get one or two suckers, maybe, with the stuff that they put in it that maybe doesn't cost them a whole lot, they can. I mean, sell some.
I'm looking at buying a Tales of Zestiria collector's edition soon. Even I think that's dumb for like $125.
Wait, why are you buying a collector's edition for that?
I like it. I'm curious.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, at least that's a known franchise, or I've played that game before, so.
Yeah, true. Tales is much more known franchise than Biomutant, but.
Right.
Well, speaking of no franchises, Astral Chain, a game that Jens and I really liked from 2019.
And I haven't, never played it.
Yeah, you have it in there. Shame on you. Shame on you for having it and not playing it. So that's a really damn good game. So apparently, Platinum had said that Astral Chain was co-owned by them and Nintendo, and now Platinum basically said that apparently Nintendo just owns it. Nintendo owns Astral Chain. So.
Yeah, you have to imagine if there was some rights issue or some contract that said, like, if you don't make another one by X amount of date, that we just own it. Or, because if they make another one, they're going to get another company.
Nintendo also kind of has to greenlight making another one. It's not like Platinum just gets to go, alright, we're going to make another Astral Chain. So, there was probably just a bunch of legal hoops they didn't want to have to, jump through.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. Like, with Platinum doing their own, self-publishing now because Tencent, owns them, or owns a piece of them, that, we'll see how this changes.
Yeah.
But hopefully they can make another Astral Chain. If not, then we'll see how that goes if Nintendo ever makes another one.
Yeah.
But the way things are going with Bayonetta 3, who knows? I mean, didn't they... The funniest comment with that was like, you might as well kind of like forget about Bayonetta 3 until we have something to announce about it.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for my Walmart or my Amazon pre-order from that from like 2 years ago.
See, this is another reason why you don't announce games so freaking far in advance, because look at Mark pre-ordering, and...
Well, to be fair, I pre-ordered it because it was cheaper. Or, it was like $50, not $60.
Still fair, but I'm just saying, sometimes...
Yeah. It'll never get made, but I think they have other things in their docket first.
Yeah, it's just... And it feels like forever ago the Bayonetta 3 got announced and then, like, nothing. So...
Yeah.
Of course, maybe not as bad as Metroid Prime 4, but at least we knew something about they had changed the studios on that. So,
well, at least
explain a little bit.
Yeah, at least with Bayonetta, they know it's still coming down the road.
True, but yeah, that is gonna be one of those things. We'll see if we get information on that this year or not. Skate 4 is now going to be developed by Full Circle, which is a Vancouver-based studio. It's being headed by former Xbox Lab general manager Daniel McCulloch, and he was with Microsoft for 15 years before heading over there. And Chris Perry's producing. There's a nice group of people involved here. I'm not a big Skate person, so what do you think?
I'm not either. I played like the demo like way back in the day. I know it was fine, but I like Tony Hawk more. But it's nice because the original Skate studio is long gone at this point. I think they're like EA Black Box. They've been swallowed up many times over by now. Hopefully it comes out and is good. Maybe they hire some Vicarious Visions guys to run it instead.
Vicarious Visions. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe Activision will bring them back away from Blizzard when the Diablo 2 remake is done.
Yeah.
Or will they just stick them on Diablo 4? We'll see.
They could use something. Sure.
So we had 2 delays, announcements this week. The Lord of the Rings Gollum has been now pushed back to 2022. Of course, that's from Daedalic Entertainment, and now Nacon, the people that published the FIA Rally Sport game, which Marc reviewed, is now involved in this as a co-publisher. Daedalic makes some story games, so they're kind of used to this. It's a big game based on the fact that it's based off, Lord of the Rings, so you want to get it right.
That and that Harry Potter game needs to come out the same day.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I still think the Harry Potter game is going to be good. I don't know about this game, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on both, from a franchise perspective, but I have more faith in the Harry Potter game because it's a more creative universe, at least.
Yeah, Gollum
also, I was going to say, I don't care about Gollum at all, so...
Yeah, Gollum obviously got a lot of fanfare from the movies.
Yeah, but he was awful in those Lord of the Rings games. The Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. He was terrible in those.
Well, hopefully they can figure out something since, they're exploring something much more original with this.
Yeah.
Instead of, just trying to ape the movies or just following the book constantly. So they kind of feel like they're taking this in their own way, and that's good too.
Right.
Returnal was the big one, because this was supposed to be like Sony's first big game. This year is getting delayed for a month to April 30th, 2021. Basically they want to give the team extra time to polish the game, the typical stuff you hear, for this.
Given some recent games, it's probably not a bad idea.
Oh no, it definitely is a good idea. This is what they had, like the 8th announcement this year. Already, and I think we talked about it before. Expect more of this because this is where COVID is. The limitations from COVID are going to start rearing their heads. So expect more delays happening. Returnal is one of the games I was excited about. So It is kind of sad, but I'd rather they come out with a game they're proud of and not a game where you're having to constantly patch it all the time.
Right.
Are you excited about Returnal 2? Or?
Yeah. I like the developer, and I like the concept, Groundhog Day. And I like the, or not the atmosphere, but the attitude. Like, the more they've shown of that Deathloop game, the more I don't want to play it.
Well, I'm still sold on Deathloop, but...
I mean, initially it looked cool, but now it seems like a Borderlands game with the humor, or like the characters. And I'm like, oh god, please shut up and let me play this game.
Maybe it won't be that bad. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Something that, isn't surprising at all. Bleeding Edge discontinued after 10 months. This was one of those games that came out. It was, Game Pass. It's a multiplayer focused title, and then it just kind of came and went. Ninja Theory was behind it, and they were automatically already announcing Project Mara, then Senua Sagas 2, and it's they also have the Insight project they're working on. They don't have time to really be making updates for this game, and then voila, the 4v4 melee focused fighting game is gonna be discontinued.
Yeah.
So, you can play it on your systems, but they're not going to have any more updates for it.
And I'm sure it'll be hacked within 2 months after this thing actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to know if there are big Bleeding Edge fans that are just playing that game constantly.
I doubt it. I feel the same way about that EA game, Rocket Arena, that came out in July.
Yeah.
That thing's still going on technically, but how many people are actually playing it?
At least Sony got to help it a little bit with the PS Plus.
Yeah.
But that's one of those games I put it in my library and I'm never going to touch it, so.
Yeah.
Well, this was one of the surprising announcements that kind of got buried pretty quick because of other things that were happening. But apparently, according to a rumor, new Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games are poorly in development, and it's outside of EA, so that means no BioWare involvement, which is weird, right?
Yeah, but given BioWare's output over the past, let's say, decade, that's fine.
Well, also, BioWare's got a lot going on right now. They don't have time to be doing that. I mean...
Well, the rumor...
how big of a KOTOR fan...
Oh, I love the first one quite a bit. The second one's fine. I mean, it's a little kind of busted in areas because of just the unfinished nature of it, but yeah, it's still good. I don't like the MMO at all. So,
I love the fact that when they had interviewed someone about this, he was like, "You'll never guess who the developer is behind this."
Well, I mean, the rumor is Obsidian.
Yeah,
but I don't see that happening unless it's a put it on every console type of thing.
Well, I mean, we already have Machine Games doing Indiana Jones, so...
Yeah, but I could see... I mean, like we said, theorized last week, that probably happened earlier, or that deal was probably signed a few years...
this had to be happening at the same time, right?
Maybe, I mean, but that at least was a announced deal. This isn't. This is just we might make another KOTOR.
Yeah.
Watch, it'll be Konami making it instead.
That would be really weird. But, no, I mean, the rumor is, but also they're working on Avowed, they're still working on Grounded, how many of their teams are around? There's rumors of an Outer Worlds, 2, so...
Yeah, I mean, they have their own craft, they're not just a mop-up crew for BioWare or Bethesda anymore, I think they have their own stuff, so...
Yeah, and I mean, unless you're saying that there's other Microsoft, game studios, secretly helping them, which I guess it could be. It's
it'll be the guys who do Forza Horizon are making it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, almost all these other studios are doing something else.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I just don't see how that's happening at that point.
I mean, at this point, there really aren't any big RPG independent companies out there. Everyone's owned by someone.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I can maybe see, I can see maybe Ubisoft trying to take a crack at it. They have some.
Oh no, Ubisoft is doing their thing.
Well, yeah, but that's an open world thing. I mean, I would have to imagine this is different, but watch, it'll actually be Square making it instead.
Gosh, that'd be all that's left. in between remake and Final Fantasy 16, we're also making this game here.
We'll just slot in Bastila Shan instead of Cloud and call it Final Fantasy 7 Star Wars Edition.
That would be funny. But no, thank you.
Yeah.
So we have Kong got announced that they're making their animated series, and then also now Tomb Raider is getting an animated series. I'm surprised nobody tried to do this before, because Tomb Raider is pretty apt for a anime or some kind of animated movie. Netflix is working with Legendary on this. Of course, they're the ones involved with making the movie. Supposedly there's a second movie also getting made?
Yeah, they announced some director, writer for it. A second movie's already supposed to be made, or they're supposed to be making it earlier last year, but COVID got in the way, and then, that recent remake was, not that good. So.
Yeah, it was like the definition to me of, fine. It was okay. I didn't think it was bad, but it was, just okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know a lot of people like Alicia Vikander, but I don't think she's quite right for that role either. I mean, even if it's the new version. So
yeah, supposedly she's coming back for the second one. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, the other one did okay money wise, but it wasn't a huge, $1 billion movie or anything.
No, yeah, it's true. It definitely wasn't, but well. I'm always down for more anime series, so anime series about a video game is always down. And of course, it's behind some folks that make the Netflix Witcher Blood Origin prequel, so
yeah,
be pretty good. Roger Craig Smith is out as the Sonic voice actor. I mean, to be fair, he's been Sonic for 10 years. He's on to new zones, and at least he felt honored by playing Sonic. A lot of rumors going around that Fred, or Ben Schwartz, I just don't see him, dedicating himself to Sonic for...
Well, I mean, he does DuckTales. I could see him doing the role. Or,
Yeah.
But also, I don't see him doing that because I don't know if those guys are friends, but they've at least been, photographed together, or, and, I think he tweeted after this news broke that oh, it's a shame that you're leaving, or, you're an inspiration or something like that. So I don't think you would screw him over or necessarily.
Yeah, but I mean, if Sega dumped the truck of money, is he going to say no either?
No, but he would probably at least ask him ahead of time, though.
Yeah, I'm sure that if he would have told Roger Craig Smith what's going on as well, just to...
Watch, it's actually not Ben Schwartz. They're gonna get Jaleel White back. I'm all for that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. So,
he was Sonic for at least 7 years, I think. Maybe but he only did the cartoons. So
yeah, but I mean, honestly, Ben Schwartz would probably still keep doing the movies, but
he'll do the
animated series or the games. That's different,
right? I don't need Sonic does not actually need to talk in, the games, so...
but if it's a Sonic game where he's by himself, they gotta make him talk.
Yeah.
No, so... especially with the way technology keeps moving, it's sometimes jarring to hear where there's voice acting and then it's nope, we're just gonna go silent for a while. Alright.
Hey, it works for Half-Life.
So... something that, it's one of these kind of disheartening, things because, Season was one of the, is this the same? This is MCD, right? Yeah. Season was one of the games that I was very excited about for this year, as far as indies go, and then hearing the Scavenger Studio just absolutely, it has a awful toxic work environment. Makes me not excited for that game anymore. So it definitely suspended their co-founder. Talk about that's a big position to all of a sudden just suspend your co-founder and creative director, Simon, Darvo.
Yeah.
Thanks to GameIndustry.biz, reporting their various abuses and groping and screaming at employees. they were talking about, I can't remember the part of the story where it's like, they were wondering why a woman should have
like a guitar.
A guitar.
Yeah, guitar's too complicated. You should play ukulele.
What? Like, come on, people.
And also, I guess there was some like sexual harassment seminar or something, and like the guy was just like, he was in the meeting just kind of making fun of it all the way through. And it's like, they're talking about you, dude. Like,
yeah, man. Like, this isn't The Office. They're not making a joke. This is true work stuff going on.
The thing is he was dating like the other co-founder of the CEO, so that's why he could get away with everything. But it's like, that's probably why you shouldn't be dating in the workplace.
Well, especially dating in like where it's like the higher up dating another higher up, or higher up dating just a worker. Like if it's two workers, all right, whatever.
Yeah, as long as like one doesn't have power over the other, obviously.
Yeah, that's when it's a problem. I mean, I'm glad that Gamestop Biz worked on this and we're able to out the toxic workplace. It's just sad that, it's getting more and more, like, almost every workplace this tends to be happening. But I mean, this is bad and not good anyway for them to be doing this, but glad that they went and definitely suspended them. Hopefully they can now get this off their reputation pretty quick here.
Or they just fire both people and then move on.
Yeah, that could be it too. They could fire both people and let's see if there's any, like, what they would have to do to fire them. They're not just gonna fire them, assuming they're paying some money to go away too. And also good that a Hitman made its development costs back already with its sales. So it's, was on top of the UK charts for a while. And it may still be there. And yeah, I mean, for an indie developer like IO Interactive and having that big James Bond IP they have to now make a game for, seeing Hitman 3 do well it's pretty great.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not like we said, we're both all kinds of Hitman, but they keep making them.
Yeah, now they're gonna make DLC that kind of like reimagines areas from the first 3 games, so that's good. I mean, because the other 2 games were like Square Enix published, where this is self-published, so this is even better for them than number 3, apparently, maybe the best of them all.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still gonna give it a try at some point, like when it goes on a sale. But, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I just know I just won't like it, because I just don't like the repetition in that game, so.
That's fair enough. At least you're stating it now,
Yeah.
And G4 has said that their big 2 shows from the dying days of G4 anyway are coming back.
Cops and Cheaters?
That's true too. Cops and Cheaters. That was their reruns all the time.
Yeah.
X-Play and Attack of the Show are coming back. I wonder if Blair's going to be involved with either of those. I'm assuming we'll see Austin Creed on.
He has like his own show, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets to show up here and there.
I'm sure they'll
Adam Sessler gets to come back here and there.
I think it's more like if he wants to come back, because I know he got burned out quite badly on X-Play for a while.
Yeah.
And I think just gaming in general. So if he wants to come back, I'm sure they'll have him back. But if he doesn't, sure. I doubt Morgan Webb will come back, because he's doing like shit for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like,
I doubt that she'd come back too.
I mean, she might come back like a guest or like, special appearance or something, but I think she's happy kind of being out of the spotlight. And she never really seemed to like want to be in it too much.
No, yeah. I mean, it seemed like she was like enjoying it, but also
like it wasn't like her ultimate goal in life, or to be some internet celebrity or some celebrity.
Yeah.
Unlike, say, Olivia Munn, who damn sure will be back on Attack of the Show because she has nothing else going on.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, her forays into acting aren't great. Like X-Men and that Predator movie that sucked ass.
I don't know. Would they want to have her back again after all the
they will.
They went through the first time?
Because they're dumb, and she is still a reasonably pretty face, even though she's getting older now.
Well, and she's known
Yeah.
somewhat by that community, so.
Right. I mean, what they should do is, I don't know if she's still doing it, but like have Felicia Day like have that D&D show if she does, or Critical Role or whatever, have like, a TV version of that.
That'd be good. I do hope that if you're going to do that, also you just get some new voices as well.
Yeah.
Bring in, and maybe make it a rotating thing. It's not the same people all the time. You have like a rotating panel of folks that are doing the shows, especially X-Play, and then obviously Attack of the Show is several segments. So
yeah,
maybe that can be more. That would also probably be rotating, because if you're going to have that 5 days a week, then definitely going to have different people hosting.
It'll be Adam Sessler in his living room. Are you excited for this thing or no?
I don't know. I just want to see it. Like, I want to see who they get to be on some of these shows, and what are the other shows they're going to spin off this, because are you going to try to have more than just these 2 gaming shows?
The only thing I would want to see is I'd like them to bring back like Japanese Ninja Warrior, because that was cool. But
that's fine. Like, I just don't want them to have like these 2. I'm obviously assuming that they're gonna have other gaming shows, but I just don't want X-Play, Attack of the Show.
They were on like three times a day.
Yeah, I know.
Running the same episode.
Obviously, if they're going to do this, I'm assuming that they know better at this point. Like, they know that, number one, most people watch things on demand. So, if you're doing this thinking that you're going to get these huge ratings all the time, that's going to be pretty rare, considering that cable itself just doesn't get the ratings.
Yeah, it barely gets ratings anymore.
And if you're going to make this like a YouTube channel or whatever, then you already know what you're getting there. But still, I think what I want to see is just more diverse voices, like some other shows besides these 2, and like that are gaming centric. I don't want to see like half the programming is somebody, popular streamer X, streamed for 2 hours, and that was on our channel. Like,
you don't want to see the Ninja Warrior, the ninja playing games for an hour show.
Yeah, no thanks. Like, if that's what this is going to be, then that's going to go down the same road. If there's going to be shows, and, there's going to be good content, and, like, historical stuff, and, take some of these YouTube shows that make, historical stuff, and, give them some time, give them a show, or like The Completionist, give him a show, or something. Like, it's just I'd rather see stuff like that than just, streamer X is on for 2 hours. Like, no thank you.
Right.
But that's just me. Maybe the newer generation would want to see that. We'll see what ones are having this, but I am kind of excited. It's just, when will they actually do it? Because I see them making comments and things, and obviously COVID's not helping.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't want to be launching a network with everybody having to do stuff in their house. So, we'll see. Take your time, do it the right way, and if they gotta do another whole year where they're waiting around, then it is what it is.
Yep.
And just to mention, I don't know if you saw this, Mark, but, the WWE Network is now, at least in the US, merged with Peacock. I feel like it's not going to be very long before NBC just owns the network, period.
Yeah. Although it's funny because, SmackDown is shown on Fox, right?
Yeah, so how are they going to do that? Is that still going to get uploaded? Every 30 days, the Fox SmackDown is going to get shown on there? Or, how are they going to, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah. Do you think it's good for WWE, though? That's kind of the question.
I think it's good for WWE, because you may get people that have completely forgot, this completely don't watch it that much anymore.
Yeah.
And they see that it's on Peacock and go, oh man, let me watch some old shit. At least you get that. Maybe they don't watch any of the new stuff, but maybe they'll watch the old stuff. And it's in there for free if you already have Peacock. And if you have Xfinity like us, it's already free. So now
Okay.
I can get the network and don't have to pay. So, that's cool too. That's kind of what I suggested Microsoft do, is maybe they start rolling out, like, merged live gold with the first tier of Xbox Game Pass. So all the people that were complaining that they don't want Game Pass, they get what they already have, which is Xbox Live Gold for $10, or if they want to eventually raise the price to $15. And then you also get console Game Pass, and that way they try out Game Pass, whenever they want to, or if they want to just delete the whole app off their screen, then they can, whatever they want. And then Game Pass Ultimate's there at $15 or $20, whatever they want to do for, if you want that. And especially, I just think that Game Pass Ultimate's really going to mean something when they finally do the whole, the TV apps or the stick, the USB stick. That's when Ultimate's really going to mean something, I think, is because right now, like, unless if you really, love that Game Pass on PC, or you like having the phone as a, second screen that you can play the games on, there really may not be a use for you for Game Pass Ultimate. So,
Yeah.
I think having the ability to eventually, you don't have to buy a console, you can just, on your TV that you have at your house, just play Game Pass on it. Or buy a USB stick for $200 less than what it costs to buy a Series S, and then just play games on Game Pass. I mean, so, it's a possibility, and I think that'll definitely make Ultimate. I mean, at that point, I think Game Pass Ultimate will definitely have to go to $20, I think. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, looking at stuff for that's coming out, within this week here, the Neo collection, the 1 and 2 are coming out. So if for some reason you haven't played the Neo games, that's a good reason to pick it up. And also that Werewolf the Apocalypse game is coming on February 4th. It's like a action RPG. The werewolf named Skyforge. It's an MMO. It's coming to Switch. And Haven is coming to PS4 and Switch. You should definitely check that out if you didn't have Game Pass. And that East 9 Monstrum Nox that I'm reviewing right now comes out on the 2nd. So, yeah, Project Winter apparently got pushed back to the 4th. So, hopefully it does come out at that point. And then the next week, you got some big games. So, you got the Super Mario 3D World remaster.
I'm kind of interested in that, but
I'm really interested. But I got Little Nightmares 2 as well, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But, alright. Until next week, everybody. We will see you later. Hopefully, if you like what you heard, you can hit subscribe and go rate and review us on whatever podcast service you listen to us on. Until then, bye.